venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Honey, that's great coffee. It's
Smell good ground coffee.
Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee? I never tasted it. Now, what do you think of Wilkins?
It's me. Morning. That is some good coffee. Yummy. Sit that down for a second. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show that lasts as long as my mug of coffee. And in charge of the chat is my good friend, Martin Acosta Santana. What is up, Martin?
Hello, Gerry.
He is there in Venezuela, Indiana. And
I'm an AI. I am everywhere.
he's everywhere. And then, of course, my good friend, the Comic Relief Crusader, is here.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if Danny or Keith or Fat Steve will show up. I sent invites to him. Keith was up at some point, so I don't know what's going on with him. Because I wake up and my alarm didn't go off today. I woke up
Really?
on my own. Yeah.
And yet,
And I looked at the light coming through the window going, all right, that is not early morning sunlight. Where's my alarm? I turn and look, and it said my alarm went off. And I'm like, no, it did not. Because it showed that I turned it off. I don't know what happened to it.
and yet you made it here on time. That's dedication. Unlike some other people.
And but it's Friday today. We have a pretty cool TGIF. We're going to be checking out here. Let me grab it real quick. We got an interesting guest this evening.
Really?
And yes, it's actually, we're going to have some really cool guests coming on the show this month in July. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be talking with Sarah Frazetta to see if maybe she will be our last guest of the month. Because, God, I love it when she comes on the show. She is just such a fun person to sit and hang out with.
She is a dish.
Hey, now you're just talking about how beautiful she is, and we know that.
Well, duh.
But what is... Here's
now, I'm not
one.
going to lie, but you are correct, sir.
I'm going to grab that one for sure. But I'm looking for the guest for today, and I can't find the thumbnail for today's show. Well, I'm going to grab next week's real quick. This is next week's thumbnail. A lot of people, don't respect what I do for a living, make fun, make jokes about it, and I'm cool with that. I don't really care. But the fact is, I as an artist, I've worked with some really awesome people, and I've done some really cool work. I'm still, to date, the only artist commissioned to do Star Trek artwork that depicted actual battles from Star Trek. But I got to know 2 artists that were amazing, and they did the book covers. And this is my buddy Drew Blair will be our guest next week. That's one of his paintings. And That photo is, of course, him. And in fact, I challenge people when they look at some of his art, because he has a school down in Florida, and he can teach other artists to be. In fact, he said, I could teach you to be like me. And I went, my life is stressful enough. No, I don't want to paint like you. Oh, look, we have Mr. Green Jeans is here, the anime guy. But Drew will be our artist guest next week, and I'm looking forward to having him because I've wanted to have him since we started the show. But he's always so damn busy with his school, and plus he's doing commissions. He is one of the top airbrush, if not the top airbrush artist in the United States, and he's been featured more times on the cover of Airbrush magazine than any modern living artist.
Impressive.
Oh,
that is impressive.
Impressive.
And I'll show you some of his stuff during the show. But I'm trying to find. We've got the gentleman that's making the Superman fan film, and
Nice.
he's going to be on today. And I'm looking forward to, because I'm hoping Script Doctor will be there, because he and I had an interesting conversation about it, because we don't know what the story's about. And here it is. Superman Solar. What's the story? Who's the star and who's doing the visual effects? New Superman fan film. The filmmaker joins us today on TGIF. I'm looking forward to that today, because everything about this sounds good. The last time I checked, he was already close to $11,000, and he just started his campaign. Yes, James Cameron is. He's just kind of a cunt as a person. Not, look, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Terminator and The Abyss. His first handful of basically, I really loved him going into the 90s. And then I lost interest in him. And but he was also a visual effects guy. Some of the visual effects in Escape from New York were by James Cameron.
Nice.
But I've made a joke, so far, all the guys that are best known as modern feminist filmmakers, also behind the scenes are notorious womanizers.
Well,
they
yeah,
claim to
it
be
makes
feminists, but I think they're using it to get laid.
Exactly. It makes it a lot easier to be claiming something. I'm an ally. Here, let's go to bed together. Oh, wait, you don't want to do the bed? Oh, let's go to other places that can be used for the hanky-panky business.
Like the kitchen countertop.
Yeah.
Ew, we make food there. Ew. Gerry, it's been a while. How have you been?
I'm better this week. I'm still
That's good
right now. I just took my 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, hoping it'll kick in quickly.
Yeah.
At least during the show.
It will. I'm going to say I've got a few little quickie announcements. I messed up my ankle. My Achilles tendon's got a partial tear, so I'm in a boot.
Well, I'm not, but I sprained my ankle when I fell out the stairs, and it's still swollen.
Yeah, I know what that is like with the Achilles.
Oh, the Achilles, man, is
because I got it bad Achilles tendon in both, and in my left one, I got blood vessels actually running through it, which is not supposed to happen.
It's not fun being immobile like this, but yeah. Then tomorrow,
when did it happen?
Oh, it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. I was just doing my normal things. I had started the One Punch Man Saitama workout where I was just doing free body weight or free body exercises with push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. And I think it was the squats that got me. But anyways, I'd been doing that for a few weeks. 2 weeks ago, just doing my normal thing, nothing out of the ordinary, no strain. I come sit down at the computer, do a few things. I get up, and holy shit, it hurts so bad to walk, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
You should do squats after 40.
Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to now.
You can do step-up exercises. You can do raises. Where you put some weight on your shoulder and step up halfway on the step, and then use your calf. Do stuff like that. But I don't recommend squatting and leg presses, shit like that. But anything that's going to require you potentially blowing out your colon, you shouldn't be doing.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
I won't be doing that
And
anymore.
I'm telling you, if you've never seen the videos of guys blowing out their colons while
Oh, yeah, I've
fucking
seen that.
doing squats,
Damn.
it's, you know, I'm a medical person. I'm fascinated by medical shit. And
That's something that you don't want to see. All right. Well, in that case, I'll definitely
let's get in
I'll
tomorrow.
definitely not do that.
Let's get in tomorrow because your show is going to be in the morning.
Yes.
Is Stephen doing morning shows still? Because he stopped. He said.
No, he's what? Who's Stephen? Fats?
No.
Deleted scenes.
Yeah,
I
he had
haven't
his
seen it
7
for a
months
while, so
I think he has he had an schedule change.
yeah.
That sucks. But well,
Interesting.
we at least have 2 morning shows on Saturday, yours and mine.
Yeah,
That's
there you
right.
go.
And this month I have dedicated to Family Month. So this month is going to be
Just
focused
not
on.
your family.
Oh yeah, well, kinda. It's we're going to be devoted to shows that you can show the whole family and the whole family can enjoy. So things like Demon Slayer, maybe with older kids, but like My Hero Academia, Pokemon, Digimon, maybe even some Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, things that make the things that make the world go round, and maybe even some Hello Kitty, because that is insanely popular and still popular here almost 50 years later. But my
Yeah.
guest tomorrow is actually going to be my daughter. Tomorrow is her birthday, and she
Aw.
turns 13, so we're
Aw.
good on
Nice.
the Copa stuff.
Oh,
So
it's the beginning of the end for you.
yeah,
You
it
have
is.
you have my empathy, my friend. Hey, hold on a
Gone-
second.
Gone through that 4
Lovely.
times.
Where's it at? Lovely Sherry said she likes doing squats. Where was that? I saw that. There it is. I found it. I like
Oh, sorry.
I like doing squats. Sherry, I like you doing squats too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would say no to that.
Oh god.
I will second that. So
So there we go. Let's see. I want to say good morning to everybody. Guten Morgen, mein Freund, das Wolfen. Would you like to touch my monkey?
wie geht's?
Wie geht's? Wo geht's Sie? Wo ist das Poppers? Happy Friday morning to you too, D. Bud Martin. Let's see. Who else is here? Gap Stargate. Good morning. I'm kind of hoping Keith will show up, man. You know, I like seeing him in between our regular shows. Now, if you guys didn't catch it yesterday, last night, I finally got, man, since I'm over here at my stepson's, man, it's like my computer went back to being, I want to say that word so badly, mentally
Retarded?
handicapped. Because
How
I
about
think
just
saying
stupid?
mentally handicapped.
Oh, come on. You can say retarded.
Okay, it's retarded, man.
There you go.
All of a sudden, it couldn't render anything. It would crash. And I'm like,
Oh,
what the
jeez.
fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know, and finally I had to, you know, the show was supposed to air on Tuesday and it didn't happen. And Wednesday, it didn't happen. Finally, I got it rendered throughout Thursday morning. I got them rendered in sections because I figured out I had to go back in and redo everything in my settings on my Vegas Pro. And it's all because of fucking unplugging my system and plugging it back in. And I don't know why that happens. This is the 3rd time it's happened, and I'm getting sick of it. But anyway, let's get back. Gap Stargate, good morning. Got the show. It aired last night. Not very many people say because I didn't promote it. It's not a normal night anymore. So if you want to go see the new Scoop Zone where we talk about Ezra Miller some more, because Ezra Miller is going to be in the news, and I predicted this, that he's going to be in the news until that fucking movie gets released, because he can't stop himself. He can't. He is his own worst enemy, and he has surrounded himself. I don't think anybody in his life really gives a shit about his mental health. I really don't.
Well, that's obvious because he keeps doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And keeps getting called out for it.
And all
And
of the
it just
people
keeps getting worse.
that support him, they're nothing but enablers. Every single motherfucker out there that goes, I love Ezra Miller.
However,
is an
that being
enabler.
said, I have to congratulate you on that pun.
Which one?
That he can't stop himself.
Yep. But let's see. Penny is here. Good morning, Penny. That, of course, is Dork Knight's mom. I sent an invite to Dork Knight. Don't know where he is. Hope he's doing okay. You guys, I don't include you with my good mornings because you're already here. Christopher, my buddy Chris is here. Good morning, sir. Oh, come on, dude. Like, I don't know it's you. Good morning, monkey. Pretending to be broccoli. Who the fuck pretends to be broccoli? Rogue Disney is here. Good morning, Rogue Disney. Let's see, of course, the lovely Sherry. Good morning, Gerry. That's it. All right. I've said good morning. Oh wait, hold on.
Isn't broccoli just mini trees that we eat?
Pretty much.
They're little tiny trees. I like to pretend to be Godzilla. I'm a kaiju. Anyway, nothing better than broccoli farts. Yeah.
Prevents cancer.
Farts?
No, broccoli. Yes, sure. Nobody wants to build up of gas in their.
That's why I fart so much.
There we go.
So tonight's episode is going to be interesting. We're going to have, again, this one tonight. Should be fun. Very curious about this guy's movie. Because right now, he's already got like over $10,000. We don't even know what the story is. What's the premise? What's the plot?
Superman does stuff. There we go.
Yeah.
Summed it up beautifully.
You'll believe a man can fly.
Again.
Yes, I concur. I concur with that, broccoli. Oh, I already said it. So, my goodness. See, I've got some new videos. I could go ahead and share them with you guys. I giggled over these when I added them. Here's one.
Johnny Red Neat, okay? Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war.
Now that's
Tickle us, do we not laugh? Prick us, do we not bleed? Wrong us, shall we not revenge?
I have one more. Don't start talking. Jeez.
Shakes? Me too. I get them bad. It's part of the business.
I'm not in the business. I am the business.
That entire scene was 1:34 seconds, and I cut out all the dramatic pauses and got it down to 10 seconds.
nice.
Thank God.
Well, I think they're worse than grifters, man. I mean, clearly, it's about what they can get. But worse than that, they enable a guy, and they don't even offer to fucking help him. And that pisses me off. Now, if I show the next video, I'm certain I'm going to have a claim against this show. But I'm going to go ahead and show it anyway, because fuck it. And it was, I took the opening animation, or, special effects from Strange New Worlds and the theme. But I did it the way they should have done it, because I got to tell you, man, stop with the fucking putting all these producers in the opening credits. Literally half of the fucking opening titles for Star Trek is the executive producers' names.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
And
that's
then
because they know nobody will stay to the
Nobody
end.
gives a shit about producers. Nobody.
No, it's a big ego trip. That's all that is. Ooh, my name's on the screen. Yeah.
You can put it, in fact, if you want to, every episode after the opening titles, most shows do the credits, the title of the episode, followed by additional credits. Put those in there. But there's so many fucking producers that it takes them half of a fucking minute. It's like 35, 40 seconds of fucking producers' names. And they go, and they don't know how to pace. They go through the characters. That's who people care about. People that are watching a show don't give one fucking shit about the producers. What they care about is
who's acting,
is in it, who stars in it.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
And Star Trek fans, in particular, want to know who's in it, and then finally, they want to see that final credit given to Gene Roddenberry. For having created Star Trek. Kurtzman, Goldsman, and that other douche nozzle, they didn't create anything. Star Trek is completely fucking Gene Roddenberry's. Why their names are at the end of that fucking opening scroll fucking irritates me to no end.
Oh, I can tell you exactly why. It's because they feel that this Star Trek is theirs. And therefore, their name needs to be on it. Fuck Gene Roddenberry, right? Because this isn't his Star Trek anymore. This is our Star Trek. Hence the ego.
I've said it for a while, and I'm in complete agreement with our friend Clobbering Time. Except no substitutions. 735 episodes, 10 movies, 1966 to 2005. Anything past that, I've watched, but I want to bleach in my brain.
Because the reason I have that is because the producers of that show, one of them moving on to the Orville, fucked Ronald D. Moore out of the deal that they had made with him. Also, Brandon Braga.
Yeah.
Now, supposedly, he's trying to make up for his sins on Star Trek. But he helped lead to all of the problems we have with canon, because it started with Enterprise. And the minute you go back in time, you begin fucking with canon. And so immediately, that's one of my main problems with Strange New Worlds, is that once again, they went back in time and they're fucking with canon. Last night's episode, same bullshit. It is. It's same bullshit. It's like they're fucking with canon. The whole Gorn thing. We know for a fact that the Federation and Starfleet had never heard of the Gorn. This was a new species to them. And they didn't find out who the Gorn was until the alien that interrupted their fight told the name.
Way back
They're
when.
the Gorn commander. And so who is this Gorn? Why don't we know anything about it? And then they show that, the Starship Enterprise with Spock have run into these things before. Oh my God. I have so many fucking beefs. Now, beyond that, it was actually an enjoyable episode, but it should have been a different species. Why they're making it Gorn is stupid. We got to connect it somehow. Let's fuck canon and connect it. The fans will forgive us because we're connecting it. No, we're not going to forgive you. We think it's stupid that you did that.
Yep, it is stupid. I'm glad that you're watching it, so that way I don't have to.
Well, the fact is, look, I tell people all the time, make your woke shit. If you make it good, I'll watch it. And I got to tell you, there's a percentage of each episode that's good, a percentage. And then there are 3 episodes now that I've thoroughly enjoyed from beginning to end. Now people are like, you need to save that costume episode, for later. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's a silly rule. You made a silly rule. Stop it. That's a silly rule. If they want to do a costume story, they can go ahead. My problem with the episode was that, of course, they made Pike the gay character in the episode. The coward. I would rather, maybe while you're doing this, I'll hide over here, kind of character. And it's like, of course they did. Of course they chose him to be that character. Well,
of course, because that's what a captain is.
They do such, him in particular.
Yeah, that's why this show is nothing more than a bag of smashed assholes.
Look, I think this show has a chance, but it will have that chance when they get rid of the guys that claim to have been the creators of the show. So here it is. This is my opening credits. I'm sure I'm going to get a claim, so I'll delete it later. But because I'm using the theme in actual animation, but I'm doing the titles. So here we go. Everybody ready? All right then.
Yeah,
Wait
that
for
was
it.
really good.
Hold on, wait
See?
for it.
No, that's
Hold on.
exactly. Oh, you scamp, you.
I'm such a troublemaker.
I know.
So
No, that's the way it should be.
you first of all, when you do titles, you're supposed to follow the musical cues.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you start a new measure, you introduce a new title.
Yep.
And they starring da-da, 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 and then get to the producers, and then all of a sudden, oh, now we'll follow the musical cues. Let's get to those pesky actors.
Yeah, nobody wants to know who they are.
Alex Kurtzman has never created anything but a problem. And that's all he's ever done.
Like Lost?
That's being nice about it.
Look, if nobody's ever seen my Alex Kurtzman meme, I found a wonderful picture of a guy sitting on a commode with tons of toilet paper. And I put Alex Kurtzman's face on it, and he's unrolling some toilet paper while he's sitting on the commode. And I put Kurtzman's face on it. I said, "Oh, look, it's Alex Kurtzman creating another captain's log." And nobody ever shares my memes. It's like I'm clever and funny, and I see people that are half as funny as me get their memes shared all over the place. I'm like, that's not really that clever, you know. And it's who you know.
Well, it's also a bit of timing. This is the only thing I've ever posted on the Twatterverse that has gotten more than 200 likes. It was right after AH lost. Someone in one of my group chats had a Lego of Mira on a Lego bed in a Lego set with little poo on the one side of the bed. Oh. So I acquired it as per the rules of acquisition, number 284, and posted it right as all that went down. Yeah, it got like 3,100 likes over the course of 2 days. That's my one and only claim to fame on the Twatterverse.
Nice.
I don't see it. Were you going to share it?
Oh shit! I'd have to dig back in my timeline to find it. Yeah, I'll find it. Hold on, just a few.
Yeah, I know exactly which one it's talking about.
I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will take me just a few moments to go back through the timeline.
I'm trying to find some right now because I'm seeing if I can find that image, and because I like making fun of Alex Kurtzman being a fucking asshole because I can't stand him. Like, oh my gosh, here's one. Let me share this one. Save image. This is one I made a long time ago. All right, Brandon, let's get Brandon. I'll upload an image. Good morning, Mr. Tickle Trunk. How are you? Happy
Good morning.
Snow Mexico Day. What the hell is that? Quit making
Canada.
up fucking holidays. Oh, Canada. Okay.
Yeah, it's Canada Day up here in the frozen white north.
All right, I'll show this real quick. Here we go.
Worship Nantuk.
Here you go. Yeah. I made that before Picard, the first season of Picard. And little did I know that Picard, co-creator of the TV series, not of the character, Patrick Stewart, was a fucking idiot. I always thought he was smarter than that, but you know, there you go. You live and learn. Let me.
Yeah, it's amazing. You think he'd be like way more intelligent, but Damn.
Yeah, just when you think it becomes the opposite, unfortunately.
Blame it on age.
Which is actually, in a way, kind of relieving because, if you know you're not going to do the thing that, would make something bomb or make everybody hate it, then you're smarter than they are. Which is comforting.
Good Lord, I'd never realized how much I tweet, even on my busy days. Holy shit. All right, where'd it go? Well, that one's funny, but not quite as funny. I actually found a few others that I wanted to share that people that I know have posted, and let's see. We're almost there. Come on, where is it? When did that come out? When was that judgment?
Oh, I think it was about a month ago. Must have been. Time flies when you're making fun of Amber Heard.
Exactly.
Okay, there we go. There you go. Back to being Monkey Jeebus. I figured out the smoke detector just twists off, so I put it in a plastic bag and smoke in my room again. Yeah, you were talking about that yesterday. Peter Venkman, fan side, is here. Hello, good morning.
I got it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Did you find it, or am I?
Oh, go for it, because I just
Googled it. I'm not finding it. It's somewhere in my timeline, but I
If
had
you
it
go-
pinned for a while, but I unpinned it, and now I can't find it to save my
Go to
life.
Google Images and go Lego Amber Heard.
All right, let's see here.
It's on Reddit, apparently. Or if you want, I can just possibly show it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I can't find it.
All right, well, good nothing. Share that screen for all the people out there to share with. There we go. That's one you're talking about?
I've seen that one. Yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that one got 3,100, 3,200 likes. Yeah, my phone was exploding that day. And for her, it was quite literally
Just like
exploding
your
out of
colon.
her backside.
Clear that
Hi,
colon.
Keith.
Hey.
Keith.
But I've
How
got
we
a
doing?
few other. I got a few other funny ones that I've found over the time to share, but I'll pop them up here on my other screen, and then I'll share the screen here in just a sec.
What's up, Mr. Keith, man?
How we doing?
Well, we are doing.
How you
fantabulous. That's right. How you doing?
All right, here we go.
I'm good.
You look good.
I tried.
All right. I've got it ready to share if you're ready there, Gary.
Alrighty.
Do it.
So this is the first one, Star Trek or just space fantasy. So we've got elf and we got space elf, orc, space orc, goblin, space goblin, human, space human, dwarf, space Scotsman, hobbit, space hobbit, wizard, and space wizard.
Oh, God. I've seen this one, too. That's awesome.
Yeah, let me zoom it in there just a little bit. So, but yeah, it
Lord of the Rings in
fits.
space.
Now this one's a good one. Spock fails at high fives. The Vulcan death grip fakey.
His hand was like a space hugger.
Now this is by far my favorite show from this from the spring season. Spy Family is so damn good. If you haven't watched it, you owe it to yourself to watch it. Go watch it. It's funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
But
on my
we've
list.
got the Mama Yor and the doggo, which gets a small introduction, but won't be shown until the next season this fall, and of course Anya. And the first rule is don't fuck with yours. She'll screw you up so bad so quick.
Oh, right, that's right.
And-
Isn't she like psychic?
Anya has telepathy. Yor is an assassin, and
Right.
Lloyd is a spy. And the only one that knows who and what everyone truly does for a job is Anya. And she goes and tries to help him with all their stuff. And of course, Wolverine thinking back on better times, thinking about Rogue's ass.
Oh yeah.
Which isn't really the case nowadays with Marvel Comics. For some
Yeah,
reason.
that's
Rogue.
Exactly.
I know.
It ain't the case
God.
anymore.
Because Logan's a power bottom.
Have you checked the video I posted yesterday? Oh God, super trans. Oh, for frig's sake, please.
Yeah, Marvel can go and die for the bullshit.
You know,
did I hear right that DC got booted from one of the cons this year?
No, they didn't get booted. They don't have anything to show. Plus, their new boss is saying, "Hey, you guys are kind of messed up. I haven't done anything with you guys yet, so you're not going."
Okay,
that
that's
makes more pretty
sense.
much. That's pretty. Look, everything having to do with Warner Brothers has to meet the approval of David Zaslav. If he doesn't approve of you, you ain't doing it. That's the long and short of it. So, Daddy's taking full charge. And if he has not approved you to go outside the house, you ain't leaving.
Nice.
So that was the long and the short of it, you said?
So the long and the veiny of it is.
Yes.
Was that the
So
long?
the long and the veiny of it is.
Was it really veiny?
Whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
You know, it's you have to admire the masterful job that Zaslav has done to this point. And
yeah, because I've only taken umbrage with one thing, and that's what he said regarding Clint Eastwood. Because once again, and people can disagree with me all they want to. I don't care if you disagree with me. This is a historical fact. You can disagree. I don't believe the Gettysburg Address took place. I don't think Lincoln did it.
Hey, guys.
Okay, this is news I
Movie
missed.
studios always believed. This is Louis B. Mayer. What's his name? I just forgot. Gone with the Wind. All the major executives, the guys who ran the studio system.
Oh yeah. Daryl Zanuck. I'm sorry.
Daryl F. Zanuck. That's right. And you've got these guys that understood a basic idea that you're willing to lose money on one, maybe two films a year that had one mission to get you an Oscar. Nominations were nice, but that Oscar meant something. Yeah. And the studios would compete and they would put out 1 to 2 films a year. Gone with the Wind is an example of one of those films that was not that big at the box office. He didn't care. What he wanted was that fucking Oscar that it would win, or multiple Oscars it would win.
Well, some films were made for prestige and some were made to make money. And if you understand which one you're making, then you do everything possible to meet the end.
Selznick. Selznick is who I was trying to think of.
Oh, yeah. Selznick,
and
geez.
So you've got these great movie executives that understood this idea that is now almost lost on them. And Warner Brothers, I guarantee you, didn't even know why they were doing it, letting Clint Eastwood have his fucking movies, because Clint Eastwood is an Oscar magnet.
Yep, he is.
And they fucking knew that at one time. And then they were trying to explain everything to fucking Zaslav. That's all they had to say is like, that guy's won a lot of Oscars for this studio, which makes us money. It's bank. It increases value of the studio. An Oscar does that.
Prestige.
Yeah, I hate
well,
that.
But
Brandon.
Originally it meant something within the industry because you're being awarded by your peers, and it's a way of actually finding out exactly where you stand and how you stack up during the course of that year. Now everything's being run by executives that have no real experience in making films. No. And they're running everything also through running everything through PR. And that's pretty much it. So that's the problem with the majority of studios outside of those that are also doing the whole woke thing. But those are the three major problems that are affecting the entertainment industry as we know it. But it's corporate filmmaking is really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that it
corporate
is.
filmmaking
Industrialized.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first and foremost, corporations are only obsessed with one thing: making money for the shareholders.
Yep.
Okay, so art doesn't really fit within that. You know, that's the reason why you're seeing so many and have been seeing so many sequels, remakes, reboots, adaptations. Now, to be completely honest, for the entire history of Hollywood since the beginning, you've had adaptations and you've had film series. Okay, so those two things have been going on since the very beginning. Okay, the difference being, back then, you know, film was new, and over time, as the studios began to learn how to work with it, many of those studios were originally created by people who used to work in the theatrical agencies themselves. They used to run theaters individually, so they were used to dealing with the public. And every generation that has come since then is a little more removed from the whole mom and pop business, which is the reason why CinemaCon is so important, because it keeps that relationship.
Yeah.
A very important relationship with theaters.
Yep.
But over
That it
time,
does.
every generation has forgotten that. Now, it seems like nowadays, the only person that is actually in front of the camera that remembers that is Tom freaking Cruise. You may not like the way he acts. You may not even like his religious choices, even though he's the object of some really weird thing with the guy that's running his religion. But
you mean Miscavige or whatever?
Yeah, Miscavige has got to be. Look, you can blame a lot of things
tries
on
to
Tom
look
Cruise.
like Tom Cruise Jr.
Yeah, Miscavige is. I'm telling you, man, that guy has a weird fixation on Tom Cruise, and I think the only reason why that religion exists now is that Miscavige is obsessed with Tom Cruise.
Secret lover.
I don't think so. Not have you seen some of the documentaries on Miscavige?
Oh, I have.
Yeah, he is a scary dude.
Not yet.
Look, that whole gay thing.
His wife is still missing.
Yeah, he hadn't heard from his dad in decades.
And you know the police down in Clearwater, Florida, haven't done a fucking thing.
No, why would they?
And the thing is, when it seemed like a lot of people were abandoning the religion, Miscavige basically let everyone know he doesn't care who leaves as long as Tom Cruise stays.
That pretty much says it all. And I got. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I got one more fun one that I found to share. It's aptly titled, "What do you think of my new Klingon bird of prey tattoo?" And if you'll pop it up on the screen there, you'll be able to see it.
Can you do it, Martin?
What?
Can you do it? Can you add it to the screen?
Nope.
I'm right in the middle.
So what do you think of her new Klingon bird of prey tattoo?
Brilliant.
What is it?
It's a Klingon bird of prey tattoo.
Get that up.
It's cloaked.
Yeah, shut up. I knew it. The minute I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's cloaked.
Yeah, Star Trek humor for those that, you know.
It's Star Trek dad humor is what that is.
Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it fits for me because I love Star Trek, always have loved Star Trek, and I'm a dad, so I can pull that off.
Let me ask you, have you actually read the book Inside Star Trek?
No, I have not.
You should. If you love it that much to have those
novel
jokes.
Ever written. It gets all up inside its ass and its vagina.
Look,
Inside Star Trek, huh?
That sounded
this
awkward.
is a book for anyone that really wants to know the truth about how Star Trek was actually created and what it was like while the show was in production. And let me tell you, there are a lot of wild stories that have been built up over the years. You find out that, shock upon shocks, a lot of the stories that you've heard from some of the actors aren't exactly true.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
And this book ends a lot of those rumors because they used contracts, memos, and other things that they used at the studio,
Did you get
while
that
they were
memo?
making the show.
Did you get the memo I sent you?
Did you get the TPS reports?
You're supposed to put a cover sheet on those TPS reports.
Yeah, if you can just
did you get my
if you
memo?
can just do that, that'd be great.
Speaking of TP for my bunghole, I absolutely friggin' love that movie. Paramount is such a schizoid service, but you know what? I like the current take that they're doing. I do like that the head of Paramount for the Paramount Plus did come out and say, we're not going to put any trigger warning bullshit on any of our stuff. You don't like it, fucking don't watch it. Piss off.
Now I'm going to show you something.
Nice, huh?
I had an idiot try to. Seriously, do you think you're going to win points with me trying to dismiss what I post? You think you're going to score points? I'm a fucking moderator on Midnight's Edge's page on Facebook, their group, and some people keep trying to start arguments with me, and somebody pointed out, why are you fighting with a moderator? Are you trying to get kicked?
I know. I
I'm not
love
gonna
that.
kick him.
I
I'm not
love it
going
when that
to.
happens.
But I will make him look stupid, and that's what I did. I went after this one guy, and he tried to shit back at me, and I just double shit on him, and he would try to shit back at me again. He shooting BBs, I'd fucking lay him out with a 50 cal, and I just finally went to the point going, oh my God, you can't come back at me because I'm assuming, oh my God, you're mentally handicapped. Oh shit, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I had no idea that you're mentally retarded. I take it all back. And that was the end of it. He stopped talking to me, and I'm like, there you go.
Special needs retarded.
Because if you think you're going to insult win on me, you're not going to. I'm going to fucking destroy you and make you look stupid to everybody. And so I posted this motherfucker, and somebody came in there and okay. Does anybody see what the fuck is wrong with this? This is from the show. It's in the movie. Do you see what's going on here? Because I, as a production guy and an artist, know what's wrong with this picture.
Mm-hmm.
This is right. I captured it right from the movie. See the white line at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
That was while watching it. I spotted it and immediately went back. Wait, what the fuck did I just see? Okay, what was supposed to be happening here?
Yeah,
what's supposed to be happening? See these blobs in front of their faces that go over their faces?
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to have a filter, and it's supposed to be matted. It's digitally. Normally, you digitally mat it.
Yeah,
and it's only supposed to be touching those areas on their body: the hand, the suit, tie, and face.
Mm-hmm.
And there's supposed to be highlights. It's supposed to be lit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's supposed to have a filter on it that makes it light up. So it looks like the glowing screens in front of them is throwing light on their face and body.
Okay.
Somebody forgot to do that. And it ended up in the fucking movie. It's just blobs. Just blobs. You can see how lazy they were. They didn't even try to follow the contours of the body. Because they were probably in a fucking hurry. This is what happens when you're in a hurry. And that's all I said. This is what happens when you're getting rushed. And someone's like, well, really, is it really important that, and I'm like, oh my God, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then someone that a bunch of us know got stupid with me on Twitter when I criticized the military scene in the third episode of The Boys. I'm like, if you're going to do a military scene, at least hire a fucking advisor. So everybody running around doesn't look like a fucking moron, including the person you're trying to make look like they know what's going on. They're trying to make her look It's the younger version of that agent that feeds information to the boys.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's younger. It's the 80s, and they're dealing with the Contras and her first dealing with superheroes, and she keeps giving looks to show that she disapproves and thinks they're idiots. And everybody around her look like idiots. And nobody's doing anything that makes sense. They're not carrying their weapons correctly. She's not. She's supposed to be trained. And she's doing everything fucking wrong. And there's this moment where she's supposed to be shell shocked. And it's, God. And I just made fun of it. I said, this is just bad. This is what happens when you don't hire an advisor.
No, it was bad.
To do these scenes. And one of our people we know jumped in there. It says, it's just a fucking show. It's not that important. It's just, and I went,
no,
are you
it is
seriously using that as an excuse? Because you realize a majority of our fucking shows that we do on YouTube is about fucked up shit like this.
Yeah.
And you're going to, is that really your stance? And then he came back. He says, well, it sounds like you want to debate. Let's debate this. And I went, you're banned and you're blocked. I'm not going to rule one. Boop. I was taught growing up, never argue or debate with stupid or crazy people. And often they're the same person, because you're not going to win. Even if you win, they don't know they lost. Stupid, crazy people have no idea the
true
around anything. There are no lines around anything. So you can sit there and talk yourself blue in the face, and everybody listening going, yeah, you've won. But the person that you're debating, that you're trying to have the argument with, is no.
Yeah.
It's like that kid that you played with when you were a kid, playing Army. You all right? You're dead. I shot you. Nuh-uh. I got special shields. That's the fucking crazy, stupid people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And YouTube. They have that same stupid mindset. And this one person just fucking, I sat there and look, man, I had you on my show one time and you derailed it in the first 5 fucking minutes. I'll never have you back on. I'm trying to like you. 2 years I tried liking this person. And they did nothing but do stupid shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'm done with you. And I've ended up in shows with people that I feel that way about. I'm like sitting there one night on a show, and I looked over at the other screen and went, oh, it's that fucking guy. And they're like, oh, hey, Gerry, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Yeah. I was so uncomfortable the rest of the show because I did not want to be on there with them.
Yeah,
so
I understand that.
Especially people who caused me grief, like Brandon. Brandon causes me so much grief, and yet I still allow you on the show, Brandon.
Yeah, you know me. I cause you just so much shit and grief and all that. Yeah. Speaking of which, I do have to.
Yeah,
I do have to take off. So
already.
It's good seeing you, Brandon.
It's good seeing you too, and I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. Once I'm done with my show, I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah. What?
Well, after my show tomorrow, I told, since it's my daughter's birthday, she wanted to go take her friend swimming. So
yeah,
I won't be on tomorrow. Look, but man, I thought I'd pop on today. Yeah,
man. 13.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm definitely starting to take more of the back seat. So
we all believe our daughter is going to be that daughter that doesn't go through it.
They do.
Every fucking daughter comes home and seriously, these words came out of my mouth. Who are you and what did you do with my daughter?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me like I'm the worst human being on the planet, and you're just coming home from school? I've done nothing. Why are you yelling at me?
We keep wishing that we were still, they were still that little girl that used to just always love to give hugs or at the tea party or all that other stuff. And
God
one day it's just like,
God love you, because I'm telling you, the greatest test of a father is the early teens.
12, 13, 14, 15.
My God, when my daughter, I'm serious, dude. My daughter came in one day, and I said, really, sweetheart, I would appreciate if you'd leave the room, and whatever it is that's rubbing you the wrong way, pull it out of your ass and leave it in your bedroom and come back out. And she's like looking at me like, what? And I said, you're acting like a cunt. And she goes, don't call me a cunt. I said, okay, I'm very specific with my language.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact I didn't call you one. I said you're acting like one. Well, that's the same thing. No, it's not.
No.
It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And if you understood language well enough and got better grades in English, you'd understand what I just said to you. But you're failing English, and that's why you don't understand what I just fucking said to you. And I'm going to if I have to get up, you're not going to be happy about it. And she's like, and she started, I said, go to your room. And she stood there, like, just stood there, like, I'm not moving. And I grabbed her to turn her, just spin her around, and it was going to just gently push her back to her room and shut the door behind her. But the minute I grabbed her to spin her, she collapsed to the floor like I just fucking wrung the shit out of her. And my eyes got really big, and she's like, oh, like that on the floor. I said, get up and leave the room right now, or I'm going to really fucking do something. And she got up and she left the room. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I went back and sat at my computer, and I immediately called one of my mom friends, that's a mother. I said, oh my God, I want to kill my daughter. I swear to God, like one moment I fucking love her and I want to hug her and just kiss on her head and just tell her how much I love her. And the next I want to choke her out like Bart Simpson.
You need the exorcist.
Yeah, they're fucking Satan sometimes, man. And but I understand. Look, man, you got chemical shit going on inside your body like guys will never know. And so, yeah, I get it. And wait, I'm proud of my 18-year-old. She did act like a cunt, but she is going to call. Amen.
Sorry.
And my daughter's amazing. My daughter knows how proud I am of her. I am. But Brandon,
it's a tough time. Yeah,
Brandon,
she's done okay so far, but there are times that I really wonder.
I am only one click away. If you need to talk to somebody, Keith too, that will absolutely sit there and listen to you.
I've gone through it 3 times.
We will listen to you, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much. All right, gentlemen. You have a great day.
I'm sorry I won't see you tomorrow, but have a good show in the morning, man.
Yep, I will have a good show, and you all take care. Well see you later.
Yeah, you too, Brandon.
Good seeing you, man.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God he's gone. No, I'm just kidding. All right, look, this whole episode is an hour in, and we haven't talked about what I jumped on here to talk about, really.
More trauma?
And
more trauma.
I really kind of want to talk about what's good on TV right now, and what's halfway good. And so what did I watch last night? And I'm going to go ahead and throw it up here. First, I watched this. If you're not watching this show, you are uninformed. Because after the shit was released about aerial phenomena, UFOs, the Department of Defense says this shit's happening. They finally admitted to this shit. It's been going on for 70-some years, and they're finally admitting it. The Air Force was in a constant state of denial. They created Project Blue Book not to really research this stuff, but to find plausible, believable bullshit stories to cover what was going on. Mm-hmm. And these things, we don't know where they're from. Are they alien? We don't know. We don't know if they're from the future, another fucking reality. Maybe they're from the inside of the earth. We don't know what the fuck these things are, but they are happening. I believe abductions are completely legit real. Not all of them. I think people are crazy. But I think one of the biggest mistakes the other father of modern psychology made, Carl Gustav Jung, was in, saying that he believed in the paranormal, but UFOs were all fake, that they're all psychological. And it's like, man, you cannot do a blanket thing. And you, of all people, should know better than that. Even Freud wouldn't say that. So, but what I'm watching right now, Skinwalker Ranch, is one of the best shows on TV. It's not entertaining. It's horrifying. If you watch these episodes and don't get freaked out a little bit by what's going on, because they have top researchers, including one of my personal favorite physicists, astrophysicists. He's worked in space. He's worked for NASA. This guy is fucking. He's got a good old boy accent. He's Southern, but my God, man, the shit going on in that fucking ranch is terrifying. He got hit with radiation, gamma radiation. He didn't become the Hulk, but he got burned. And they've had multiple people struck down. They have a guy this week on this latest episode who went to the same spot. It's the exact same spot where each one of them has something happen. It'll just there'll be a spike and somebody will get hurt or someone will get sick. And this one guy all of a sudden starts having symptoms of a heart attack. He was in perfect health. All of a sudden just drops to a knee. And they're like, "Are you okay?" And he goes, I blacked out. You know, all the blood left my head and I just blacked out and my heart's racing. And they were freaking out and they ran him to the ER. They found out that he was having not so much tachycardia, but he was having arrhythmia. Sudden onset arrhythmia. Standing in the exact same spot where each other person that has been afflicted by something happened to them. From a guy getting a cyst on the back of his head, suddenly onset cyst on the back of his head that had to be scanned and drained. And drained. They had to drain it. Anyway, this fucking show freaks me out. And now, you know, because they've got this 1.65 gigahertz fucking spike that keeps happening. They don't know where it's coming from. They're trying to figure out where it's coming from, and it shouldn't be happening. Worse than that, it's fucking with all their equipment. Every single time they start to do research, no matter whose computer it is, right before the research starts, the computers die. Fully charged, batteries, everything, dead.
Well, it's transdimensional.
With him. There's a point where he says there's cause and effect. And when you start seeing something consistently happening like that, there's a cause. This isn't accidental. Someone is doing this on purpose, and we don't know who, and we need to find out who's doing this or what's doing it, because it's intelligent. It's intelligent design.
They might not like who's doing it. I'll tell you that
Well,
much.
now they drilled into the ground last night in this latest episode. They went 400 feet under the mesa, and they found out that Bigelow, who used to do research over there on the ranch, had destroyed the entrance to a cave system on the mesa. You can't get in now. It's covered with rock because they blew it up. It's sandstone. It's easy to destroy.
Oh, yeah,
and
very.
So they actually threw smoke grenades, and this is so freaky. When you see smoke, instead of flowing out away from the mesa, it begins to suck down into the mesa.
Yeah.
And then they start drilling, and the drill hits something that it can't penetrate. Yeah, I said penetrate. Fuck you. And it begins, debris starts to come back because they're throwing water in there to help keep the drill that's going in there from overheating.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also washes stuff back that it's hitting. And when they throw it through the filter from the sluice tank, it's chunks of flat metal that has one bit of material on one side of it and another bit of material on it. And two of the material that's discovered in it is the same material that's used in the space shuttle tiles.
Oh, ceramic.
With metal.
Interesting.
And they're like, and when they thought, well, what shape is this that you're hitting? He says, is it like a V? And he goes, no, he says, it's more like a dome that I'm hitting underground. And they do a music cue, but I already had goosebumps the minute he said it. I'm like, fuckity fuck. What is under there? And then the physicist brought up that the same material that's found in this stuff is stuff that's being used by NASA right now, researching warping space, how to warp space.
I wonder if they bothered using ground penetrating radar to look underneath.
No, they've tried that shit. They've tried it. Here's another one, another cause and effect moment. With them doing what they're doing over there, all the way over at the triangle where they had drilled into the ground, suddenly caved in. while they're drilling over here and throwing water in. So there's a connection over there because they're trying to figure out where this 2,000 gallons of water went. Only some of it's coming back at them. And then they go over there and you can see hollow ground underneath this area where they drilled previously. So they're like, there has to be a connection with the water. Maybe this is where the water went. How is it? I mean, it's like really far away. It's like, how is this fucking happening? Smoke going in. Then they take a camera and they lower it down in there, and they got a shitty photo. There's something down inside this hole in the ground cave under the rocks, and it looks like a metal strip. It's got lines on it. It's got a little metallic and black and lines on it, and they couldn't focus on it. They couldn't do it, so they tried to do it again. Go down there with another camera, a better camera, and this time suddenly there's a perfectly roundish rock suddenly in front of the spot, right where they found that object, blocking the way.
Freaky.
Sudden. And after they do that, they're standing on the mesa, pulling everything down, getting ready to leave, and fucking the physicist walks down, hits the bottom of the hill, and all of a sudden everything starts shaking. For a few seconds, there's a loud boom sound. And then it cuts and to that other location where the collapse was. But what made the sound? They are so out of their depth. And these guys are researchers and scientists, and they're out of their fucking depth with what's going on with that fucking ranch.
I think they need to look somewhere.
Yeah, I know, Gab. Fuck you. I said penetration. I pointed it out. You don't get to point it out and then get points. Fuck you.
Dude,
when I point out my own faux pas, you don't win.
The sound was made by the tree that didn't fall.
Okay, I'm removing Martin from the show. Fucking jokes like that. Fuck you. So I'm just telling you, if you're not watching this show, you're out of your mind. Watch this fucking show. Go back and watch every episode from the beginning.
What is
this show is worth every fucking minute you watch it.
Where can I watch that?
It's on the History Channel.
Oh.
And you can also watch it on fmovies.to for free.
Nice.
Yeah, so just remember to have an ad blocker. Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin wanted to be over here. I'm sorry, Martin.
No, it's because when I put the highlight, it sometimes is blocked, I guess.
Yeah. I don't care.
Anyway.
You what? You're in charge of this stuff. I'm not. I'm just finding ways of fucking with you. I really love that fucking show. I fucking love it.
I think for me, the show that I like right now, what's good, is Superman and Lois. I am surprised by how much I like it now. Is it?
Oh, it's a very good show, dude.
It's not perfect, but
I haven't caught season 2 yet.
It's good. It's good. It's solid. You know.
It has some problems. Because Keith knows I've complained about it, and you've complained about it too.
Yeah.
When they did
season 1 was pretty good.
CW drama this season, it's like he, and this is how it should have been treated. When somebody comes out to you, like when my son came out to me being gay, you don't sit there and go, "How could you keep that from me? I'm your father." But you're the first person I told. The person you were gay with knew before me. That's CW drama. That is so fake. It's bullshit. Nobody fucking acts that way. And when Superman went to Lana Lang and to show her who he really was, she should have been in awe. Not only that he was Superman, but that he had trusted her enough to tell her a secret like that.
It isn't just the fact that he told her. He took off his glasses and levitated in front of her.
Yeah.
I mean, your best friend who you grew up with is levitating in front of you.
Your ex-boyfriend that wouldn't put seed in you.
Hey, we have a super chat pending from some time now.
Oh, Das Wolfen with the $2. The truth is out there. I need to watch a show. Yes, you do, John. Absolutely one of the best shows on History Channel. And I actually love all the UFO stuff because where do I fall? What Ridley Scott talks about in Prometheus is where I lie. That's where my religious beliefs are. Is that we were seated here. That our idea when we were practically Stone Age of seeing these gods from space, yes, panspermia, and I believe it's like, look. When you see an alien and you're practically Stone Age level, that's a god. And I get it. You get these different books talking about these different things from different cultures, different religions. And I think that it's all the same thing. And our concept of what this is not what we think it is. And who God is not who, because, I don't believe man made God, but I do believe that man made God in his image. I believe that God exists, but God exists as something we don't understand. And that's where I've always been. And the truth is out there. Prometheus touched on what I've always felt. And that's why I love Ancient Aliens. I love that show. That crazy guy with his crazy fucking hair. I'm not saying aliens, but aliens. And
for me, I also like Brad Metzler's Decoded.
I like that show too. Yeah,
I wish they were still doing that one because they covered a few things that I always that sparked my imagination a little bit. The whole episode with. For me, it was Mount Rushmore, and the episode about oh man, what was that dude's name? Oh, Meriwether Lewis, and his mysterious death.
Oh yeah.
How they explain how someone could take what is basically an elephant gun, a gun that about the barrel that long.
How long?
Blow their brains out.
Again.
Reload.
How long was it?
I was about that. No.
God damn.
It was about
reload,
long.
Reload, and then blast himself again. And the official account of his death was that it was suicide, basically, with a weapon that powerful that he had to reload and do it again.
Yeah. Now, to go back to the show again, the guy I'm talking about is Travis A.S. Taylor. He is an astrophysicist, one smart motherfucker right here. Absolutely one of my favorite people. I mean, for years I've loved Michio Kaku, but Michio Kaku, because Script and I've talked about, he still believes in the string theory, which has been proven not to be how things work, even though it was badly used by Marvel Disney for their whole madness thing. String theory doesn't work that way. And by the way, string theory is not really the accepted theory anymore. But Travis is one of the smartest motherfuckers you'll ever see. Worked for NASA. Is absolutely a great writer. He's written some science fiction, if you didn't know that. He wrote a book called Saving Proxima and Bataluna and Bringers of Hell. Some really cool action, alien invasion fucking sci-fi.
Wow.
And like Arthur C. Clarke knows his fucking shit when he's writing sci-fi. It's real science fiction. Check his stuff out, man. Also read his research that NASA still uses his research. The guy's top notch, and he's the lead researcher for this show. And so he's the reason why I started watching it. Otherwise, it would have just been oh great, shapeshifters, fucking stuff on History Channel. No, this is something else. They're saying that there's a portal or portals over Skinwalker Ranch. Something is fucking with their equipment, and they can't get a true reading. Worse than that, when they did that one thing, dropped sensors out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
When they get the readings, it said they were almost a mile under the mesa. the research showed that the things in the air were showing up a mile under. And then on top of that, one of them, when they looked at it, hit something and ricocheted off of it. There was nothing there. That's not how that shit works.
This Keith, do you know something about it?
I've heard that. You know, do I know anything about it? Not really.
What are we talking
about? What you're talking about. I had heard that, but I don't know as much about it as Gerry does.
It's about.
No, he's talking about what's down below. Comment.
That the CW was sold for.
Put your glasses on, bitch.
Oh, I've heard that. I can't confirm it at this point. You know, if it has been sold for $1, more power to you. You know, it's going to take a little bit to get that entire network back up and running the way that one would think. There's not much
for $1.
You can't really expand it anymore. I mean, we've now evolved our entertainment, so it's not like you're going to be able to expand. All you can really do is try to provide programming that people really want to watch. But if everybody's on streaming, then that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. Personally, I agree with David Zaslav's reasoning for getting rid of CW. You know, it's cost prohibitive.
Everything needs to be on HBO Max, focused on making money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it's all about the money, and it's all about putting out products that people want to watch so they can get either their streaming money or their advertising dollars. You know,
sometime within the next week, the new season of Harley Quinn will start.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. But again, I want to point out it's not fucking canon. Stop acting like it's canon. The stuff that James Gunn is doing for DC, not canon. It's
I don't care if not canon. It's freaking good.
Yeah. But if you've never seen the show, guess
what?
Bat
is not canon. Stop acting like that's canon.
I don't care if not canon. That Might is bad.
Do you think it's going to come out that one of Lana's kids is really close? No. This is not that type of show. This is not stuff being written.
This is about the Kent's problems and how that they as a family have to work through having a dad who's Superman and now a son who has the same powers. But
the way they ended. Oh, I can't say anything. All I know is
don't spoil
this
it.
Upcoming next season after this is going to have some interesting things that have been opened up by this season, and I'm expecting.
I like the brother right now.
Yeah. I like everybody. You know, I do like everybody. Not the way I would have done the show.
Really, Keith?
I do like everybody. Everybody to shut the.
I wish they had found a way this season to make Henry Irons more like the comic version. Because there's a way that they could have transitioned a little bit, but they're just not going to do it.
They could have done without the whole drama of saying I'm from another Earth and on my.
Well,
Earth,
I do find the mystery at the end of the season interesting. I'm not going to say what it is.
I agree with you.
Because all of a sudden he's left with a mystery that he has to help solve. And who did it? And they connected it. I'm not going to say how, but they've connected it to the Arrowverse.
You know they're going to have to do some casting now. Because
we heard the rumors they're bringing back Arrow.
Yeah.
And I do believe this is happening because they just connected this show to the Arrowverse.
Actually, no, they did that last season. This is Diggle's second
Very
time
small.
on there.
This one was deliberate and in your face.
True.
Completely different from what they did last season. Because it was like an Easter egg last season. They brought up a name.
Yeah.
Not going to say what it was because that'll give away the ending of this one. So.
Well, obviously they're going to have to figure out how they want to do this in its connection to the Arrowverse. Because last night, that episode also featured the whole thing with General Lane saying that Superman's the only hero they got, which means that this version of the Superman universe is not exactly the same one that we saw Superman and Lois being a
Yeah,
part
but
of.
they've admitted to it. Put it back up there because I wanted to address it real quick. No.
It jumped on me.
There we go. I got it. Are they going to make one of the kids gay? It doesn't matter. So what? They're gay. My son's gay. You know, we have gay people in our lives.
Oh, you mean like
everywhere.
they did in the comics?
I don't really care. But in this one, I don't think they're going to go this way.
Yeah.
Because both boys are in love with specific girls in the show. And, but if there's a gay character in there, I don't think it really matters. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with woke if they're telling me a good story. I mean, I'm not a big fan of woke. I think it's bullshit. But the fact is, I'm also very open-minded. It's like when my son came out to me way back when he was a teenager, he did it because he trusted me. And he knew that I'm not judgmental. I'm not very judgmental. I judge people on the content of their heart and how they act towards other people.
Yeah.
And I don't judge them, you know, like, because what is that old saying? I was raised with that. Judge not lest ye be judged. I absolutely will not judge other people. I don't judge them for their lifestyle. It's like, it's not my place to worry about what's going on because I've got a fucking log in my own eye. You remember that one too? He told twice in the New Testament, stop fucking judging other people. And yet some of the most judgmental motherfuckers are some of my most devout Christian friends. And I'm like, stop it. Stop it. As Bob Newhart would say, stop it. And, but I think that it's, you know, you're going to eventually have somebody who's gay on the show. I just don't think they're going to get heavy-handed with this because they've been ordered. Stop it. Stop doing this shit. Berlanti's been told, stop it. Stop it. Stop doing this. Stop making bad television.
I do think, though, they're going to correct some of the mistakes that they've made by having this be a different Superman and Lois than the one that was originally on with the Arrowverse.
And I'm hearing good things about Batgirl. And
Which
from people
Batgirl?
that I know aren't woke. And the new movie.
Yeah, not liking it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've heard good things. That
I'm sure they're going to have some great stunts. I'm sure they're going to spend a lot of time, effort, and money because that was being done by a bunch of people who knew their time was short with the company.
Well, I think that they're going to be a lot of the stuff they fucked up is probably going to be fixed, and the only thing they can't fix is that costume. I'm never going to be a fan of it. If they were smart, they would go to the third act and have her have to get a new costume and make that costume better.
I you know what? I think that they're going to end up just shutting that whole thing down as far as any connection to the Snyderverse or anything like that, which is why they were making
directly and Michael Keaton, I think both.
I know. They're gonna figure out a way of making this different from whatever Snyder wants to do. Because again, Snyder has done nothing yet. Everything that he wants in his universe, you've already seen. This is not a part of that. He didn't elect some proxy to make this. This was done because they were trying to evolve his vision. Since he was not involved with it, and even though they have Ben Affleck, when he decides to come back, he will make his decisions about what's actually in it and what's not.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why Batgirl is going to be outside.
All right. So I want to get back to because we keep derailing, and I've got 3 shows here that I wanted to go over, and we've got half an hour.
Okay.
So one, watch first episode. And I laughed at what the critics did because before I even watched the first episode, I looked at this because I knew. I went and did a quick search, reviews on this show. It pops up immediately. Established critics fucking hate it. That means it's probably going to be good.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right off the bat. So I start watching it, and first episode, man, right out of the gate, man, I fucking enjoyed it. I'm like, you've got some combat going on. You got Chris Pratt, who I fucking just love watching him on camera, man. I enjoy him. He's being more dramatic this time, being more serious. But we've seen him do that because, you know, he was in Zero Dark 30 playing a Navy SEAL in that. And here he is doing it again. And then we get towards the third act of this first episode, and we start hearing, you know, because shit happens. Things go south on missions. It always happens. Someone got squirrely, and people got dead. And when he's sitting there in front of NCIS, he says something that I have felt for a long time. Because as much as I enjoy NCIS show, I hate it when NCIS acts like it's part of the Navy, and it's not. It actually targets active service, you know, active duty personnel. They've been caught doing it, actively targeting personnel. And they're not a pro-Navy organization. They're very populated by some very anti-military people. And so the show, as nice as it is, it really, they are not heroes that work for NCIS. And I loved it when Chris Pratt's character calls them a bunch of, you're not Navy. You're just a bunch of unglorified cops that can't work for a real police service. You know, and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I like this show. I already really like this show. Called them out because they start playing a recording of the battle or the fight they were having down in the catacombs. They were trapped down there, and the place was booby trapped, and there were people waiting for him. He says it was an ambush. This was a planned ambush, and they're like, well, that's not what we're getting from our intel. And they start playing the recording, and it's completely different than what we just watched. And you got to ask yourself, is Pratt an unreliable narrator, or is he being fucked with? And that is pilot episode number 1. You have to, it's a mystery for you too, as the viewer. Who are you going to trust in this story? Because you're seeing things technically through his eyes. This is his story. He's the protagonist. And so I love that when you have to question that. It's oh my God, it's a mystery, you know. And
isn't the cast really good? It's supposed to be like Taylor Kitsch, Constance Wu, and Patrick Schwarzenegger, and
well, everybody I've seen so far is really good.
Elvis's granddaughter's in it. And, yeah,
I think that this is going to be, and I've only seen the first pilot, and I'm like, I'm in. Here's my chips. I'm all in. I'm all in. Fuck these established critics. You watch over the next week when we start getting reviews over on Rotten Tomatoes. Never look at the left one. Always look to the right one.
Yeah.
The right one is your audience response. And collectively, audiences do a better job of reviewing a show than critics do. That's a fact, because we all have, on average, we all have a very similar interest in watching our entertainment. That's why you'll have niche movies and shows that don't do well, but everybody loves it. Like, oh, it's so great. Oh, it's canceled first season. Wonder why? Nobody fucking watched it because everybody looked in and went, oh, it's a niche audience. But this is great. But it's niche great. It's not great to us. We're the mass. We're the larger viewing audience. And we don't want to watch that crap. And this is the problem where it becomes my problem with most critics, established critics, is that they've lost the ability to view things as the average viewer. They allow their personal interests to block their ability to give an honest review of something.
Yep.
And this is what led to, because, you know, I hate saying this, but what led to Roger Ebert and I stopping meeting up and having lunch together was because I called him on it. I said, you base all your reviews off of how you vote, you know, and you can't do that. You're supposed to be objective, not be subjective when you're doing your reviews. You're supposed to be objective, because you need to be open-minded with what you're looking at. You have to judge each film off of the genre that it's in. It's like when I judge Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I base it not off of classic Star Trek, because it would fail completely. If every episode would fail. But I base it off of the current state of Star Trek. And I got to be honest, Strange New Worlds works. In that universe, it works for the most part. It isn't until they get blatantly stupid with canon that I start having an issue. And so this show, I'm telling you, right off the bat, I'm enjoying the shit out of it. Good military action. Orville. I'm having some problems with this season. Little ones, just little ones. And it's an issue I have with the logic thing that they, some of their decision making. And I'm like, really, you had this extra year to work this shit out, and you left some of this Deus Ex Machina stuff in there, and it really kind of bums me out. And this latest episode was controversial as hell. I understood what they were trying to address, but I thought they did a really good job addressing it. And this is, people who sexual identity when you're a teenager. Are you old enough to start determining your sexual identity? And the fact is, once you've hit puberty, you're starting to form who you are. Now, I will say this: by the time you're 13 to between that and 21, your body and mind is going to actually change 7 times. Your psychology is going to evolve, but your body changes 7 fucking times in that window. So, that's why, when you see kids wanting to do transition surgery, as much as people support that, I'm like, no, you need to wait till you're a fucking adult before you do something like that.
That's true, but
you need to go through a battery of psychological exams to make sure that you're not suffering from a mental condition like an actual thing. This is real. Stop fucking saying it doesn't exist. Is sexual identity dysphoria, because it happens. Dysphoria, identity dysphoria, hits you in a different ways. People who are bipolar have a form of dysphoria, because one minute they're upbeat and want to be this thing, and then all of a sudden when they start to hit that point where the tipping point where it starts to go back down, depression kicks in, manic depression. Their manic state, manic depression, and they go from one way to the other, and then all I ever wanted to be, I want to be a postman. I'm going to go be a postman. Then goes and does it, and it's like, oh, this is horrible. I hate this. Why did I want to do this? It's not normal to do that. It's not. It's okay to want to experiment in your life, but when you make this grand decision, and that's what dysphorias can do when you have these manic states, and they talk about it heavily in Sweden, because Sweden was the first place to do the first sex change operation with Christine Jorgensen, and she had to go through tons of fucking things. But at the heart of the show, there's something else that's going on, which they approached on House. Do you remember that series, guys?
Yep.
I love that show, which is somebody that was born with both genders, and the parents make the decision to opt to make them one sex or the other, one gender or the other gender. And then later it manifested that this person was actually more female than male or whatever, or male than female. I can't remember the episode exactly. It's been a long time since I watched it. But I remember what a fascinating episode, because it's talking about an actual medical situation here. And the same thing here on this show is the character, and they planted this seed early in the show, where Bortus's child was born female, and of course it's a male-dominant species. Female of the species is seen as insignificant and a mutation, and so they surgically altered it. And then we find out Bortus's wife, spouse, whatever you want to call it, was born female too, and had to go through this. And so they're showing this interesting thing. The only thing that bothers me is they make Bortus's spouse look like the bad guy all the time for feeling the way that they feel, rather than being sympathetic with that character. And so I don't know if that character is going to come back because of the way that they ended it, because they really make him look like a bad guy for feeling the way that they do, because he's culturally raised a certain way.
May I?
And of course, the stupidity. the superiority, and they even bring it up on the show that everybody who thinks this way, you think that you know better than this other race, an entire race, a species. So I felt like they kind of manhandled that a little bit. Got a little rough with it.
I like to comment about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. First, in the episode that brings up from the trial to try to stop the operation to take place. Everybody, I was on board with Bortus because he's a part of his culture and he's a parent of the child. I wasn't on board with the.
Well, he's become more he's part of that federation now.
Well,
and he's starting to see things their way. And
but it's the fact that he's just a loving father.
Exactly. Whereas the other parent.
Well, that's what I'm going to go. But let me finish with the episode. I was not on board with the tripulation, with the crew of the Orville, because it's a situation, a cultural situation they do not understand. And they should not have tried to strong arm the situation.
Very much agree with you on that. That was my one beef with the whole thing, is that, look, man, if you can't convince both parents, you need to back the fuck off. There's medication. They didn't bring any treatments for depression. Instead, they had to go, once again, it's the whole Deus Ex Machina thing. They avoid treatment completely on the show. Treatment for that kind of depression. And Keith, I mean, what do you think about that? Did you watch the episode? Keith?
Yeah.
Did you watch the episode?
No, I can't watch it. And Mel and I watch it together. It's our thing. So, and we didn't get a chance to last night. We had several things come up. So,
gotcha. So
now, on relation to the last episode and Clyden. Look,
Clyden, yeah.
I never liked Clyden.
No,
as
Clyden
a person.
is really not a very good character at all.
No. He's not a very good person, but he's a very good character because he his presence promotes certain discussions about interpersonal relationships and how to handle it. I think that is a character that should continue on the show.
Well, the minute he fucking stabbed Bortus, tried to kill him the first time over this shit.
Yeah.
It was like, how is this guy still on the ship?
Because that's how they're divorced.
It's like, yeah, but it's a Federation ship. And they shouldn't allow that guy on the ship. They really shouldn't. Once he assaulted a member of their crew. So I have problems with the show, the logic of some of the stuff on the show.
Yeah, that logic is flawed.
You know, it's a good show. It asks questions, but let's move on real quick because I'm looking at like 20 minutes. I want to talk about the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I don't know, Keith, did you see my opening trailer thing? Because I'm sure I'm going to have to edit it out later. Did you see it?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch that.
All right, I'm going to share it again. Share a video file.
That being said, I got to get going, guys.
It's nice hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, well, nice being here again. But I will catch you out there and maybe on the next show.
Well, TGF is later today in about 3 hours.
No, good enough.
Not even that. Shit, 2.5 hours. So I got to get off here because I got to prep for the show.
Well,
if you can't join us for that, we've always got Saturday morning.
Good enough.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for dropping in.
Well, thanks for having me on. So I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
Later, buddy. So here's my opening titles, how it should have gone. And let it go past the ending because there's more after the end of the opening titles. This is what they should have done. Yeah, we'll get a claim, and I'll delete it later. Stop putting producers in the opening titles.
I would have added the word loosely to that credit with Gene Roddenberry.
Now, he created Star Trek, and it's based upon it, but it doesn't matter.
Loosely based upon Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry.
I think that it's some of the stuff is well written. This episode was the Alien Predator episode, and clearly Alien Predator. I mean, they even go to the Predator view for some of the chase scenes.
Yeah.
And basically, it is funny. One of the people I have in the credits there dies. I'm not going to say who. I'm just like, oh, I guess they're not. Well, I guess they shouldn't have worn a red uniform. Oh well, because they died in the episode, and I'm like, well, shit. Here it is near the end of the season. Final episode's the next one. It's going to get focus on Pike's mortality issue. But my problem, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't, because he's misinterpreting it. And he, number one, keeps telling him, I don't think you're looking at this correctly. And in the end, we're going to find out. Hold on a second.
So, Keith,
can you guys hear that?
Yeah, a little.
It's going in my background?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
yes.
Have you seen anything of Star Trek Strange New World? I haven't seen anything.
I saw the pilot and some loose stuff connected to other episodes. It's just, again, it's different. This is a different universe. And I think it would probably gain more acceptance if they would just say, hey, it's a completely different universe. We've rebooted the entire thing. We've kind of started over.
I don't think anybody would do that at all. I think that we want Star Trek to be Star Trek. We're not going to accept it no matter what they do.
It will soften the blow.
It started with Star Trek Enterprise, where they decided to go back, even though Ronald D. Moore told them not to do that. You got to keep moving forward. When you go back, you risk fucking with canon.
Yep.
You're going to be confronted with canon, and you're not confronted with canon when you're always moving forward. You rely on canon to guide you into the future, rather than going back and going, oh man, I got this thing going on here, but we're gonna have to change that. And the Gorn is a huge fucking problem for this series.
Yep.
The Gorn is, I really fucking hated why did they even bother calling it the Gorn? They should have made this other species. I'm fucking, but it was an enjoyable episode within itself. I mean, when it's within the Kurtzman universe, I put that right up there. I gave it a B for its quality. Its writing was good. Acting was good. But the problem is the Star Trek aspect. It breaks canon constantly. And by the way, I've told people again, I said, I've never heard that is a real fucking fireplace in his quarters, Pike's quarters. And of course, you can't have a real fireplace like that unless it's gas. You could have gas, but I would still consider that dangerous. The odds are, at this timeline, because of holographic, I would assume that's a holographic fire.
I would assume that's a holographic suite that he's in, because that's way bigger than what Pike's actual cabin
quarters were. It's like
that is big. Way bigger. You could fit the size that Pike actually had. That's the size of 3.
Yeah, I said 3 times the size of the one that was shown in the original series. But I don't have a problem with the fireplace, because I'm like, the odds are that's holographic. They don't have to see it. You should just automatically know they wouldn't have a real fireplace on a fucking star vessel.
Yeah,
that would just be really fucking weird.
Well, and that being the only hologram that actually works, because technically all the Federation starships should have holographic technology all over the place. The Enterprise doesn't really, because they explained it in Discovery, and it's just more goofiness.
And I got to be honest, I prefer the Gorn that was in the video game. That was the current Star Trek movie franchise video game, where it brought the Gorn back, where it was lizard-like, but it was still kind of humanoid.
Yeah, that was the wasn't that the one tied into the 2009 movie?
Yeah,
yeah,
and Shatner and the masked version from the series Gorn were playing the game in the commercial.
Yeah,
if you've ever seen it, and it's funny as hell, And but I really enjoyed that, and I thought their version of the Gorn was closer to what you see in the original series. This thing that they're doing here is a fucking weird creature that's nothing like the creatures that we dealt with in Star Trek.
Well,
nothing like it.
None of the stuff they've done that's actually taken from real Star Trek actually winds up being the same because of money, and
Well, here's the problem. Here is money, yeah, but the problem is they spent more money on this than they should have. The whole parasite thing. Suddenly now they're a parasite. And once again, I've told people that the Federation and Starfleet never knew this creature until the incident with Kirk. And the only reason why we learned their name is that third alien species, or that second alien species that interrupts the battle and makes them go to the planet to fight it out, told the name.
Yeah.
Until then, we didn't know what they were called. We never seen them before, met them before. It was this unknown fucking species. And they could have done more with the Gorn as the series progressed, but they never cared. They were stuck with the Klingons and the Romulans. They're the primary thing. Now, this series needed its Klingon-Romulan thing instead of just using Klingons, because, we're in that period when the war took place. Now, they're the Gorn. And it's just like, I'm sorry, this is the way every serious Star Trek fan, including, now I'm not talking Trekkers, I'm talking Trekkies. Trekkies and Trekkers are two different kinds of Trek fans. All of us collectively are like this. That's how we're reacting to this.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, how can you understand that we love Pike and not understand how to deliver it to us correctly? And man, he's good. He really is good.
Yeah.
The briefing room is way too fucking big. It's bigger than the fucking D. The Enterprise D.
Yeah.
And
we all know what happens when it's bigger than the D.
Bigger than the D. It's fucking goofy. I don't understand why they got to make everything, look, I get it. Girls want bigger. But sometimes you just got to give them what you got. Sometimes 5 inches is all you're going to give them. Not speaking for myself, but I know a lot of you fuckers out there with your micro penises. You have a right to sex too, my friend. But anyway, I just find the show enjoyable to some aspects, but really annoying in others. And I don't know. I guess this is it right here.
Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war.
There you go.
Kind of, sort of, real Klingons. Woo.
There's some overacting for you. You think Shatner overacted?
That's the guy who taught him,
and that's an Oscar winner right there, my friend.
Yeah, that's the guy who taught Shatner how to chew that scenery.
Well, Monkey, this is how I've always explained it, because I got asked at a convention when I was signing some of the Star Trek art I did, and I said, "Well," they said, "Are you a Trekker?" And there's a crowd, and I'm like, "Oh shit." Well, this is where it's found out. This is where the truth about me is found out. I said, "No, I'm more of a Trekkie." And one of the guys says, "Well, what do you see as the big difference between Trekkers and Trekkies?" I said, "Well, it's very easy." I said, "A Trekker is a person whose life really revolves around Star Trek. It's almost this lifestyle for them. We know many of these people in our lives, people that walk around in Starfleet uniforms all the time. They're members of the Starfleet International. They have a starship that they're engaged with. They have the Star Trek TV remotes. Everything's Star Trek in your house. Star Trek motif. People who turned their fucking living room into a Star Trek man cave. You know, these are Trekkers. Trekkies are people who have lives and also just happen to really love Star Trek. And we love the model kits. Don't get me wrong. I love collecting, but I'm never going to design my living room to look like something from Starfleet. I'm never going to be part of a Starfleet International. I've got better things and other things to do with my time. I look at that as just something I'm not interested in, but I fucking love Star Trek and I know Star Trek. And that's your big difference. But what's interesting is where it's those circles that when they meet, there's this little area where they connect. And that's the areas where both sides connect. And that's our love for Star Trek, our love for canon, our love for certain characters. And that's why I get along with Trekkers as well as I do Trekkies. Because they get it. I get that love. And this show doesn't have that kind of love for us. This show is not made out of love for Star Trek fans.
It's made to make money.
It's made to make money off of us. Yeah. But the fact is it's still not delivering anything that we want. We didn't ask for this show. There are shows we would like to have that they won't give us.
Yep.
Discovery should have been that show going into the future. It should have never been in the past.
Before it got changed.
And it got changed. And it got changed into something stupid. And they did something in this episode, too, that I consider a major sin. Introducing a character that we never met before, never spent any time with, and suddenly we're supposed to care about them because they got killed. Now, I'm not talking about the one main character who I like. I didn't like it first, but then I grew to like because of a previous episode. The previous episode, I grew to like that character. And I'm like, wow, that character is better than what they had him represented in the first episode. I hated him in the pilot. I thought he was a fucking asshole.
Yeah, guy.
He was very likable after that. Let's see. Backdoor Gerry made the backdoor symbol with his hands. He even didn't connect them fully. And here's the last of my coffee. I have one more gulp. And so Star Trek could be this thing, and they choose not to be. It is a choice, and it's Kurtzman. And I blame Goldsman, too. Both of them. They should take zero credit for this show of creating anything because everything is based, it's derivative of Gene Roddenberry's work. There's nothing original in this show that they should be claiming anything for. And that pisses me off. Other than the fact that the only thing they have a right to claim is how bad the current Star Trek is. And it's their fault. They should be blamed for that. But the show still manages to entertain me, and I fucking love Anson Mount, man. I'd watch him.
It's hard not to like him. The dude is phenomenal.
Look, he's a fucking idiot. He's woke like the typical Hollywood people. It's like, oh my God, you hear so-and-so said something woke? And it's like, why are you reading this stuff? Why are you reading it? I expect that from Hollywood. What I don't expect from Hollywood occasionally is those little nuggets of gold where you see an actor fleeing Hollywood going, I got to get the fuck out of here. Where it's like Johnny Carson show, The Tonight Show, way back. Carson made this great joke. He says, I don't know, I guess Hollywood's a lot like grape nut cereal. It's not fruits and nuts, it's flakes. Yeah, I thought that was funny. So, Hollywood is chock full of fucking idiots. Well, it's like, oh my God, can you believe this actor said this? Anti-American?
Not completely. I mean, Kurt Russell's still cool.
Chris Evans, he hates Middle America. Really? No shit. Really? Get the fuck out of here. But where does he work? Hollywood? Wow. I never imagined that fucking happening. Somebody in Hollywood hating us. No shit, Sherlock. Hollywood hates Middle America. No fucking shit. Why don't the poll people see exactly what they? Well, poll people, be careful with polls because it's all in how they ask their questions that they get their answers. I don't trust pollsters. I don't care what side of the fence they lay on. I don't. Polls are all fixed a certain way, skewed a certain way in how they ask their questions. And if you look at the actual question, the way it was phrased to the person being polled, you'll go, wait a minute, why'd you ask it that way? Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that's Hollywood. And I expect idiocy out of Hollywood. I mean, when you see the movie Idiocracy, people love to make fun of conservatives. No, it's really about Hollywood. That movie's about Hollywood if it took over. And sorry, that's what it's about. That movie's about Hollywood because you get the most vapid fucking people that think that way in the entertainment industry. I know that there's a small percentage, but look, man, I don't give a shit about anybody in Hollywood, and there are a few actors that we'll listen to, and those actors that I do listen to all have extremely high IQs, and some of them aren't popular, because of it. I don't care. I like them. I trust them. When they say something, I know this person knows more than me. Two of them right off the top of my head. Played RoboCop, Peter Weller.
Of course, Peter Weller is amazing.
And then James Woods. Guy's got an IQ he's almost at 170. I mean, he is like smarter than half the people in Mensa. The guy is a fucking genius, and people want to fucking take him on. Politically, he's extremely conservative.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is every single argument, I dare anybody try to dismantle his argument. You can't. You can sit there and try to talk circles around it. You can't dismantle his statements. And that's the problem, and it's the problem we have in this country is people have gone so far in one direction or the other that they forget all of us in the middle. Those of us who think rationally, logically, and we look so far to the right because they're so far to the left now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, man, we need rationality back. As much
center.
As, yeah. And, I'm going to say this. Fuck you, show up right at the end of the show.
I stream at 10 a.m. morning. You know this, you SOB. You started a morning show way after I have been streaming gaming.
Justice Siegel, how you doing, buddy?
I rule. He's a dick. Taco Supreme is in session.
Taco
Supreme Court, yes.
Now I want.
How are you? How are you
of a
doing
bitch.
up there?
Well, I don't know what's going on with C11. It is Canada Day today, so it is our holiday today. But other than that, honestly, Trudeau and all this cabinet make the best division memes for thumbnails ever. I just put him on there with Freeland.
What is this holiday about?
It's about my boot in your boot ass. But no, I like using the way those people that were highlighted during Convoy, and I put them in the division thumbnails for the game stream, and it has a double entendre. So I love it, Keith. How are you?
Well, I'm glad you showed up because we're getting ready to wrap up. But did you watch any of the new stuff? Star Trek.
Trek, yeah, Trek. It was like watching Predator and Alien being ripped off. And
I said that.
Thing. Yes.
I said that. Even it was alien-like until it showed its perspective.
The thermal,
the clicking sounds it made.
Yeah, that was the clicking sound was something else. That clicking sound came from something else.
Yeah, but it was reminiscent of the Predator with the clicking.
Yeah,
and of course its perspective with the thermal.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy what they did there. I know they were trying to make Trek kind of a horror style, like with the de-evolution episode, like TNG delivered before. And
but when it came into it, the basic writing of the episode was actually pretty solid. My problem was, once again, they went to the fake drama thing where they introduce a character, the guy that went from ensign to lieutenant,
Mhm.
get his promotion at the
Oh,
beginning.
Captain
of the
Redshirt. Yeah, Commander Redshirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't red shirt. He was gold. He was.
But they used him like a red shirt.
Yeah. Well, we
But,
actually had a red shirt that died.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not going to say who it was. Don't say who it was.
Oh, I won't.
And-
But what I'm tired of in this is that one bridge officer yelling at anyone who didn't stand up against Gorn. I am getting sick of that trope she keeps using. Why yelling at the kid? I'm like, that she's traumatized and you're yelling at her. What is your problem?
she was Newt. That's who she was.
Yeah, I know. And with Orville, I'm seeing different sides of a coin to that show, and I think people need to rewatch the first episode in season 1 and then rewatch yesterday's episode, and you'll see that I don't think it was political. I think it was more about parental choices. Parental choices can F up your kids.
There was a little bit of socio-political thing because it shows one parent as the villain and the other one not. And and I think that's the way the character has been written from the very beginning. Yeah. And I think that not having creating a little bit of sympathy for this character and its frustration over its beliefs. Because look, man, Seth MacFarlane is an atheist. He really is, and I get it. Mm-hmm. But the way that in his writing and his writing team does this,
it's not funny.
It's just not cool to always make people who believe in the culture that they grew up in as being bad. And it's like, look, man, maybe they don't understand because, look, I don't support female genital mutilation, but it's culturally practiced in Africa.
Yeah.
And I consider it wrong. But the fact is can we just go in there and fucking stop them? We could, but we should do it in an intelligent, thoughtful way, which is through, what did Sting say many years ago? Not conflict, but education.
Yeah, but I also think there was other layer. Okay, I put it like this because I honestly believe that this episode in general was delivered in a way that was TNG Star Trek layered thinking. Because depending on the person who's actually watching this and how their perception is and what they're looking at and what they take in, it's going to have a different layer to think. And I think that's one thing that Seth is doing. Seth is doing is he's taking this season and relating it to other episodes in previous seasons to make it a two-parter without it being a two-parter. And sometimes you have to go back to understand what's going on now. Because if you're just going on what's going on now, you're automatically
right.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you're only going to look at these and you're not putting relation to those, you're missing on half the story and how they have it's like he's doing yin and yang of each one to a certain degree.
Yes.
And the way he's saying like parents making choices for kids can F them up. Because at the end of the day, even if a kid's young, this is the whole debate that's going on, they still, if they don't feel like themselves, it's going to ruin the rest of their lives. But that's just it. And then when we're looking at how things are going on in real world, everyone's telling people that just because they put on a dress and make believe, they're automatically trans. It's the different type of thing. If you take out the cultural thing, it's like you're forgetting one thing. As much as they're your kid and you're the parent, they're still another human individual, and you sometimes do have to listen. It doesn't mean they're right, but you have to listen. I think that's why Bordis came around with the whole, I'm not giving out what he did or they did. But the episode was done brilliantly, and it also showed that even with cultural traditions, where they see how they change everything to male, that the court case when that spiritual
worse
leader
than that they see female as inferior and a mutation.
But then when they had the spiritual leader come down, it says, "I was hidden away. I was female, but I am happy." And that delivery when Topa was there was brilliant. I don't think it's all about politics, and that's the thing that's bothering. If you're only going to yell at it, you're never going to listen to it.
It's about presenting all sides and allowing the audience to make up their own or come to their own conclusion, which is very Star Trek-like prior to what we have now.
Yeah, that's Trek layering, and I think that's brilliant. I think Seth has actually understood how to do layered thinking, and the fact that we're debating this is perfect. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's the shittiest season. What I think it is brilliant because it is causing conversation. And that is one thing Trek has done since day one. That's what franchises used to be. It's not like, hey, look, they're gay now. Let's talk about how gay they are. What else do they have about them? Nothing. Oh, hell yeah. Fuck. Let's just talk about the gay. The gay. Nope. That's the difference. And I'm passionate in this because I'm loving Orville more now because I can see multiple messaging.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to agree with you on a majority of that,
Sorry,
but I do
I'm
think
sorry.
I do separate, because I don't think it's political. I think it's sociopolitical.
Okay, well,
And there
I'm
are
very
two different kinds of politics. It is sociopolitical.
okay.
And it's okay to do that because it's asking questions rather than giving answers. But
I'm not
I
political.
too am very gay for this show.
I know. But Gary, can I say one thing though? As much as you try to say I have a political like standing, right? I'm very out of touch when it comes to politics, whether it's socio-political or not, right? I'm not very like Trump bad, Orange man, great, grapevine, good, Pelosi in Antarctica from Russia, I see you all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like jumping on the bandwagon, but it's like,
yeah, but what I always picked on you about was the fact that you're like, I'm not political, and I said that's a political stance. It's what I'm telling you, whether you like it or not.
No. I'm judging on the
is a
of
political
human,
stance.
Judging on the human being is.
I'd have doubts about that. Nobody's ever seen you. Prove it.
No, fuck you.
I think you're
no,
just
but honestly, I love it, and I honestly think that as much as you're going to have different perspectives, I hope Orville doesn't turn into the thing the way the Mandalorian turned people into loving franchises, and you start going, well, if you liked it, you can't like any of it. If I start hearing this shit, I'm just going to turn you off because I'm tired of it. Like the villainy needs to stop, and that comes with anything. If we're only going to see one side because that's where everyone wants to see it, that's cool. But there's more people out there that have different ways of thinking, and as soon as you start denying the other ways of thinking, you're denying the beautiful thing of conversation. And Orville, I think, has been doing very well with this season. And Skinwalker Ranch, dude, if one more person faints from blood loss, I'm out.
It's not blood loss, but it's
arrhythmia. Sorry.
There's different kinds of shock.
Yeah.
And in this one, it really does act like hypovolemic shock, because what happens is suddenly the blood leaves your brain. It's an organ. And, but I saw something the other day, and I contested this because when I was in medical training, we were taught the largest organ in the human body. There was a contest the other day, and it said that the largest organ was the intestines. And I said, we were taught that it was the integumentary system.
The skin is the largest organ.
The skin is the largest organ in the human body. And so I'm like, and the guy got $100, and I'm like, that's not right. It's like they say that there's a specific number of bones. We were always taught there is not a specific number of bones in the human body, that it's within a number of 5.
Yeah.
Because of metatarsals and metacarpals. And that's the bones in the hand and in your feet, because you don't always have the exact same number of bones depending on the person and their origin.
And I'm going to quickly jump in with King's Portal. As much as that's true. I effing despise politics with a passion. The last time I got into like covering even something that had a political attachment to, it messed up my channel for 3 months. It's still
well, a very good friend of mine yelled at me, raged at me for like a while, because he wanted to talk about the current trial that's going on in DC.
Depp and Heard is over though,
and I'm like, this was like over a week ago.
Okay.
And he's like, this is important, and I said, I don't want to engage in political talk is really what it's about.
Yeah.
So I just tell him I'm not interested in that, and he starts to, but you should be interested in it. And I'm like,
fuck that.
But I'm not.
No.
And what I'm really not is engaging with you and talking about it, because I have my personal slant on this and I don't want to engage with you on it. And but he's like raging at me, like I'm a bad American, and he's yelling at me about being a bad American because I don't want to talk about this. And he's talking to a guy who fucking volunteered. I'm the only one in this conversation who volunteered and served this country and took an oath.
Yeah,
I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. I'm the only one in this conversation that took that oath. And I found it really amusing as he's doing this. And I love this person a lot, so I let it slide. But I'm like, he's one of those people that has TDS so bad that no matter what's going on or how wrong he is, it doesn't matter. I mean, he said to me, and I've told Keith this, I said, This person believes that Trump is going to go to prison at the end of this. So I said, no, he's not. I said, Hillary will go to prison before Trump does, and she's never going to go to prison. It's you're having your leftist wet dream is what this is. Not a liberal wet dream. This is a leftist wet dream. Stop having it, because it's not going to fucking happen. Shit doesn't work the way you want it to.
See,
and you just sound crazy to the rest of us that are right here in the middle.
Yeah,
here in the middle.
See, the thing is, with Kings, what you're saying is like, yeah, I can't even watch it anymore. Okay, let's go back to 2020 with the lockdowns, the way Canada handles certain shit, and the way I am on disability. I am on government disability, and the way they shit on people on disability during the lockdowns and really said to the country, pretty much, this is the standard of living, except for you, and you. And from there, I can't handle looking at people that
you were targeted personally because somebody up in the government doesn't like you personally.
What, the disabled people? Yeah, that's fucking
no,
Ford.
you.
Me personally?
You personally. Hey, I hate to be short because I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to get into a long thing because we got to end the show.
I'm sorry.
Minutes over, and I got to prep for the show this afternoon. But I appreciate you coming on, and there's a conversation to be had here. It's just not now because I got to get going. But
Orville was good. I'm gonna stand by that, and if I don't, I'm not gonna be made to feel dumb because of it.
No, if you're dumb, it's mostly because you're dumb,
and because I'm friends. Yes,
it's like that line from what was that movie? Something Boy with the Saturday Night Live actor who died, Tommy Boy.
No, Chris Farley.
This is how fit make me look fat. And he goes, no, your fat makes you look bad.
I remember that.
I love that line.
Skinwalker, I've burned through almost all 3 seasons. I'm almost caught up.
It's an amazing show.
Tell me, Stranger Things. Stranger Things dropped today too.
Yes.
Oh shit! I gotta watch that.
I watched the first chapter 8, but chapter 9 is 2.5 hours almost.
All right.
Nice.
I want to thank Christopher Carroll, Christopher Moonlight Productions. That's a good friend. Friends of ours in our personal lives. And Code Raven, thanks for being here. Dust Wolf and John, thank you, buddy. D. Bud Martin, shitting on Gerry. Dennis McCullough, thank you. Gap Stargate, Infomedia Live, Low Spec Linux Laptop. And you know what? I used to work with Linux, but Linux doesn't work with certain programs I have to use, and that's why I gave up. Same thing with NT. I had to stop using NT because it doesn't work with 3 of the major programs.
Fuck NT. I fucking hate NT. We had to learn that through network engineering shit. Oh, make your own server, dude.
It was a stable system, though. I never got a blue screen on NT.
I'd rather work on it. I'd rather have Windows Vista try to talk to me in German at this point.
Monkey Jeebus was here, even though he was Broccoli Jeebus for a little while. Mr. Tickle Chonk, Penny was here. Rogue Disney, Sox Bulletin was here. The Comic Relief Crusader should not be in this list because he was on the show.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm doing his voice.
I did one
War Monkey. Sorry. And of course, Kyle, our good friend, was here. And so the 2 favorite monkeys were here today. And I want to thank everybody for being here. And I want to thank Martin. Thanks, dude, for running the chat. Keith, thanks for being black. Yeah, you're supposed to do this. Remember the Blazing Saddle joke? He goes, wait a minute, it'll rub off, see? And thanks for dropping in last minute, Steven. I appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, no problem. I was in between having a never mind, not gonna
stroke.
Well, no. I think that 14-year-old with that heiress already got enough strokes. Oh,
jeez.
Hey, that reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. What goes into 13 twice?
A 26-year-old?
Roman Polanski.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that was something.
That's the thing. Taylor Green. Oh, I'm not going to go with that. They're actually asking for pardons for him and Snowden. That's all I'm going to say. I'm leaving it on that.
And you know what? My closing thoughts. What is it with? It's the hot to crazy ratio. I think it is because So many hot women sleeping with underage boys.
And where are we when they?
It's so fucking crazy. And it's once again, it's the hot to crazy ratio.
They also want to feel young too, right? So
maybe, but once again, that's crazy. Well, clearly they're feeling young with their hands.
Well, Gerry, they literally have signs on their bedroom doors. It's like a theme park says you have to be this crazy to ride this young.
Yes.
God. I'm out.
With that, I want to thank everybody for being here, man. Fun show. Talked about some cool stuff today. Thanks to our buddy John for the $2 super sticker.
$2
or super chat. And with that, we'll see you next time. We'll see you this afternoon, 2:00 Central Standard Time. We're gonna have the Superman Solar creator on, the filmmaker. So should be fun. What is it with the video starting out really fast and then getting normal?
It has Tourette.
I hate that about StreamYard. I was too. I banged it.
No comment.
Remember to sub to Steven's channel. YouTube keeps doing the opposite.
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea.
Y'all come back down.